Hey everybody, Oscar and I are back for another fabulous quit smoking video where I'm going to help you quit smoking quickly, easily, and forever. And I hate this torture and deprivation business. I just hate it. So Oscar and I, who's going to adorably sleep the whole time, and hopefully not snore too loud, really want you to manifest whatever you want and quit smoking and leave behind the BS that you've been dealing with it, because I know the torture. I smoked for 18 years. I smoked up to probably a pack and a half a day at my worst. I relied on it. I took it everywhere. I was a very committed smoker and I really thought I loved it for a long time. Even though I knew it was hurting me, I had a lot of lung problems. Didn't matter. I smoked anyway. So no matter how committed you are, no matter how much you think you're cursed or you can't do it like other people, I'm here to tell you you can, and I'm doing 22 videos to help make that happen. I'm using tarot cards to help inspire us, and today's card is going to be the Hermit, which I'll get to in a minute. And also, I'm really bringing awareness to a book, which I'll pop up a picture here, The Easy Way by Allen Carr. And this genius of a man he was a super committed smoker, and he found how you can flip the switch in your mindset easily and open yourself up to quitting smoking easily, like pain-free, like fun even. You know what I mean? So the worse it gets, the worse you have to do is remind yourself, not even in a painstaking way, but I remember I had to remind myself, like, oh yeah, I don't have to bring my cigarettes. You know, the same as I get my lip gloss and my cell phone and my smokes, and I get it all in my purse. At first, I kind of just had to remember I didn't need that, but it felt great. Okay, that's the difference. I ended up quitting in one day. Crazy. And I had unsuccessful attempts before. So stick with me, and I'm going to link the other videos below. I'm putting them all in a playlist, 22 of them in total. And I want you to be able to not only quit smoking, but of course manifest whatever you want in your life. Please hit the notifications if you want to get this series, because that's the only way YouTube is going to show it to you. And if you would do me the favor of subscribing for more amazing content beyond quitting smoking, I would really love to grow this channel. I like making videos. Okay, let's get at it. Also, I'm trying to move through the content really fast. My goal is to be like 10 minutes or less for every video, and just to give actions you can do so that this is fun, and averaging probably more like 12 or 13 minutes. But if I'm talking really fast, that's why. Today's tarot card, as I mentioned, is the Hermit, okay? And congratulations, we're on day 10. This is card number 9 in the major arcana of the tarot. And as you can see, the Hermit here is lighting the way to inner guidance, a little solitude, okay? That's what I want you to see with this. And what can happen when you shake things up, and we've talked about in other videos, getting, clear and getting in touch with your highest self, getting clear on what you actually want to manifest, not just quitting smoking, but more specifically. And we're getting you to stir up emotions. We're getting you, like I say, to get in touch with your higher self, which is something new, following your intuition, connecting to universal energy. These can be a lot of heavy and new concepts, and I'm just kind of throwing it all at you while you're quitting smoking. So this card is going to make us stop for a minute and regroup. That's what this card is about. So when you stir up shit, sometimes things will start to go wrong before they start to go right. And that just means you're working through some blocks and you're energetically shaking things up. The universe is like, oh yeah, you want to manifest that? Well, then do this. And it might, your car might break down because there's a lesson there. Or, and also if you're paying attention, things will go synchronistically right as well. So you can allow for that. But a lot of times the initial worry and the stir up, I think, calls in a little bit of rough and tough stuff. Maybe you've chosen something rather big and pretty far from where you are today, maybe emotionally. So you might need to get rid of a relationship. You might need to change your career. You might need to move. If it's big things like that, then there might be some uncomfortable things coming up, right? It's only logical, and that's okay. I don't want you to panic, but it does take need to stop and reflect. So the Hermit, in order to stop and reflect, is also a self-care excuse card. So if you need permission to go for a massage, here it is. If you need permission to go for a pedicure, if you need permission to spend a little time alone, to go for a walk in the woods, ding, 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 great idea. The goal is to check in and see how you're doing so far. Have you been congratulating yourself on how you're doing so far and that you've even attempted this idea? Are you sending yourself more self-love than you were before? It's time to start doing that. How do you do that? So these are the things you can be reflecting on with this card and with some time to yourself. This card also talks about setting boundaries. You know, do you give a lot of yourself and don't really take back? Oftentimes smokers are big reactors to life and big givers, and they've stretched themselves thin and the smoke is sort of filling a bit of a void. So have you looked at that? Are you, filling a void with smoking? How did you even start, So these are some things you can reflect on and consider some boundaries you want to set in your life. Are some of your friends being kind of jerks that, they're smokers, now you're becoming a non-smoker and they're maybe making it a little hard on you, and maybe not even on purpose? Could that be happening? You have relationships you want to look at, some boundaries you want to put up for a while until maybe you're strong enough to handle their, criticisms of your non-smoking or the dream you want to manifest. Maybe they're not even really attacking the smoking, but they're being a little bit ornery with you. You never know. Sometimes when you go through a major life change, even a really positive one, even like losing weight a lot or something, people will find that the people around them get squirrely. They're just not sure. How do I handle this new person? Can I react to them the same? They're reacting different, and they'll automatically assume you're going to be irritated and mad because you're quitting smoking. So they might treat you that way before you even do it and almost try and provoke that reaction out of you. That's a lesson for you. So boundaries, reflection, these are important. Let's get to some real action. So what we're going to do for journaling action today is you're going to write down any negative things that have been coming up. And you're going to look at maybe some qualities listed from yesterday and kind of put them together. What can I use going forward now with my boundaries that I maybe need to set, or with the things that I'm analyzing? What am I going to pair up going forward that in moments of being the old frustrated me or whatever it is you're letting go of, you can use as a tool? An example is, for me, patience. I knew in like a journey like quitting smoking, I am learning patience, right? Because I have to be patient with myself and not get frustrated and push myself backwards. I want to keep encouraging myself forwards and away from smokes. Negative self-talk was what my smoker self did. She really got off on that because that meant having more cigarettes for soothing, stress relief or whatever. So patience is something going forward. So if something negative comes up, maybe my car didn't start, then I'm going to need patience to deal with that. I'm going to be able to step back, and instead of grabbing a smoke, I'm going to need to handle it in the moment. There's no diversion. So I'm going to need patience. I might need courage to face people and talk to them instead of hiding behind a cigarette. Okay, so those are my examples. Yours could be very different, but I think you get the idea. Knowing that these negative things are coming up are actually a sign that you're changing, that you're stirring stuff up, and that you're on the right path. And that's the perspective I want you to keep in mind as you're looking at these negative things and writing them down. We're calling them negative, but they're really positive because you're finding the lesson and the growth in them, right? So that's food for thought there. The next thing we're going to do is a meditation. And today's meditation is all about bringing universal energy inside. So you're going to allow the light in, and I'm going to give you a guided meditation in the description. Either one that I'm giving of my own or one of a favorite of someone that I've heard. I'm just not sure yet who I'm going to link, but I'm going to find kind of the most perfect one. And then from there explore, because what I think is perfect for me in my mind and where I'm at in the voice, the voice means a lot when you're listening to a meditation. So if this one doesn't resonate with you, please search for more. So it's going to be a guided meditation, and the idea is you're going to allow the light of source to come in. You're going to be grounded to the energy of the earth, and you're going to allow that light to come in through your body and show you where you're holding resistance, show you where your limiting beliefs are. As you're getting in deep and you're digging things up, they are coming out and you're releasing. Sometimes things get trapped. You've done enough, and now you're moving on to the next thing, and you've left a little piece of that self-doubt or that, worthlessness or whatever it is, you've left it behind, tucked it under your armpit, and universal energy come in and light you up and show you the dark areas, and you can feel the heaviness. And then you can ask it to be zapped and removed. And so I'm definitely going to get you something to guide you through that. And like I said, whether it's one of mine or someone else's, and that is going to be the meditation goal for today. I can't wait to hear how you feel about it. It's pretty cool stuff. And if you've never done it before and this is your first time, I'm really excited for you. Okay, so remember, this is about taking time for yourself. And sometimes manifesting what you want means letting go of things in your life today. You never know. Or changing the relationship of things in your life today. And that's totally fine. But to find out how to really get what you want, you're going to need to go inside. Okay, don't stay in here. Allow the light in. Let's go inside and let's find out what's up. And the last thing I want to do for you today is kind of fun. I'm going to read you a little bit from Allen Carr's book, The Easy Way to Quit Smoking, because this part really, I just think it's really cool and I want you to hear it. And remember, I'm not affiliated with the book, so when I tell you to go buy it, it's not because I'm making money off it. It's because it's really cool, it's not super expensive, and it's helped millions and millions of people. Okay? Okay, so you'll see me just kind of looking up here. I have a computer in front of me that I'm just going to read off of. So, the main reason smokers fail to see smoking in its true light is because it works from back to front. So you get stuck in a vicious circle. It's when you are not smoking that you suffer that empty feeling. And I've talked about this in other videos, that hunger pain. When you light up, that feeling disappears, giving the impression that the cigarette has helped. What we forget is that the withdrawal from the previous cigarette created that empty feeling in the first place. I know. So you look at the non-smoker, they never feel that empty feeling and they need the cigarette to get rid of it. You've tricked yourself because of the relief you get with that cigarette, because of how bad you wanted that cigarette from the nicotine addiction. That feeling when you first light a smoke is just the smoke. It didn't actually relieve your stress. It didn't actually do anything except give you a kick of nicotine. Period. So it's this illusion of pleasure we associate with smoking, and we only acknowledge the boost the cigarette gives us. We don't acknowledge that it's the previous cigarette that put us where we needed the boost in the first place. Of course, non-smokers don't feel this illusionary need and relief, right? They're non-smokers. They never feel the withdrawal of the previous cigarette, so they never need that relief. And that's where we want to get you. And by being able to wrap your head around this, it's going to make your life super easy. It's our inability to understand this reverse process that makes it difficult to kick this habit or any other drug. Now, once you understand this process, it's easy. Okay? So here's another little piece. So this is his example, and I quite like it. Picture the panic of a heroin addict who hasn't been able to shoot up for several hours or even days. Then picture the relief when that addict can finally shoot up. If you saw that process, would you conclude that shooting up with heroin relieves panic? Or would you think that heroin withdrawal creates it? Right? Non-heroin addicts don't get that panic feeling when they can't shoot up. The heroin doesn't relieve the symptoms of panic withdrawing from the previous dose caused them. Get it? See? Neat, eh? So non-smokers don't get that empty feeling of needing a cigarette or start to panic when they can't smoke. The cigarette causes the symptoms and the next one relieves them. And this provides the illusion of pleasure. Smokers talk about cigarettes relaxing them and giving them satisfaction. But how can you even notice being relaxed unless you were tense in the first place? How can we suddenly feel satisfied unless we were previously dissatisfied? Why is it after a meal, non-smokers are perfectly relaxed and happy, but smokers are tense and edgy? Until they feed that little monster. So that's just a little bit. He goes on, of course, even better and even more. That's on like page 80, 89. I'm looking at it online, so I guess it's different in the paper copy, but awesome stuff. Okay, this video is getting long, so I will see you tomorrow. Put in the comments how it's going, the struggles you're having. I'm great at coming up with creative solutions and perspectives. So let's get your mind in the right place so quitting can be easy. See you tomorrow.